Does everybody know what kind of animal I am? A fox. You saw my tail? Now, why do you think that I chose to be a fox today in the middle of winter? Does anybody have any ideas?
I know.
What do you think?
Because foxes stay awake and hunt during winter. They don't hibernate.
Excellent. Very good. Does anybody else know anything else about foxes during the winter? Annie?
They turn a different color in winter.
Some of them do. Yes, that's right. Anybody else want to tell me any other facts they know about foxes? I am going to first read our book, then we're going to do a scavenger hunt, and then we're going to do a craft. So this is the story. It's called Winter Sleep. It's by Sean Taylor and Alex Morss. So when it was summer, I stayed at Granny Sylvie's house. She knows lots of things, like the names of flowers and how to spot a deer's hoof print. Does anybody here know what a deer's footprint looks like if you were walking in the mud or the snow?
Yes.
Would you be able to figure it out?
Yeah.
I might have something to help you at the end with that too. And where to splash around the pond, climb a slope of green ferns, pass through oak trees with moss on one side, and find, and if you're having trouble with the pictures, just let me know and I'll bring them closer, the secret glade. Butterflies fluttered even though it was late. Granny still helped me listen for songs of different birds. Does everybody like to listen to the sounds of birds outside?
I hear some.
I hear some right now. Yes, me too.
Yay.
When I went back to stay with Granny, it was winter. I asked her, can we go to the secret glade? She said, yes, if you can find it, because things look a lot different in the winter time, don't they? Things change a lot. So everything was different. The pond was frozen hard. The ferns on the slope looked dead. The oak trees with moss on one side were all bony, just like she said. The trees looked all bony that time. And the glade was quiet and bare. It wasn't anything the same. No butterflies, no flowers, no birds. Where'd everything go? I wanted to see the dormouse, but Granny said the dormouse will be having a winter sleep. It was too cold to stay, and I said, nothing's alive in winter. Is that true? Granny Sylvie told me it is. We can't see the dormouse, but she's hiding here. She'll be safely, deeply sleeping all winter long.
I see the dormouse.
You see the dormouse? Yes, that's right. This is her hibernation time. In autumn, she feasted on parts, nuts, fruits, and insects. Then the long nights came. She felt cold, heavy, and sleepy. There was nothing more to eat, so she made a nest ball, and she's inside secretly snoring until the spring sun warms her body again. On the way back, I asked, are there other animals hiding in the trees? What do you think?
Yeah.
There are other animals in there?
Yeah.
So, but even their food rests in winter. So bats snuggle up in a hollow trunk or cave and snooze through the frosty weather. I said, where do all the insects go? Because Granny told me some are sleeping right under your feet. So everybody look down at the ground. Do you think anything's under your feet right now?
Yeah, sure.
You think there might be squirrels under your feet?
Yeah.
And what was the book just talking about? Insects, right? And bugs? They might all be under our feet.
If you did look at the poles, you could obviously probably find some squirrels.
Maybe.
What else?
The queen bumblebee sleeps in a tiny tunnel. Some moths and butterflies hide underground, often wrapped up, waiting for spring. And mother earwigs look after their eggs until they hatch when spring comes. We were coming to the pond, so I asked, what about in the water? Now, has anybody walked around the park before? Do you know what's down here? Is there water in the park?
Yeah.
Yes, there's water, so we'll be able to check that out, right?
Yeah.
So Granny said there's ice on top, but the pond life waits below. Before it froze, frogs dived down deep into slimy mud. Now they are still and breathing so slowly they seem dead. But when the water warms in the spring, we'll hear them croaking again. I said, so all sorts of animals are having a winter sleep. So Granny Sylvie was still telling me about the animals in winter when I was in bed. You see, she told me, there's plenty of life tucked up, hiding in the cold. So I nodded. I could feel the cozy magic of the dark night outside. And even though it wasn't very late, I closed my eyes for a winter sleep. So my favorite part about winter is I almost feel like I'm tiptoeing when I'm walking. I feel like everything's kind of sleeping, and you can almost, if you're really quiet, hear everything breathing and hiding in the ground and in the trees. So what I did is I have little laminated posters. There's 8 of them. I'm going to give you little sheets, and I'm going to walk with you to make sure, but I have them spaced out on the trail, and I have 8 little critters that we want to find where they might be right now while we're walking, where they might be hiding for the winter. So when you find them, I'll give you a pencil and you can check them off, and then I want you to come back here and we're going to talk about who you found, and look around when you find the picture and think what the habitat or what the plants and the trees look like where you found them, and we'll come back and talk about it. Oh, we can do that. Okay. You see water down below. What else do we see close to the fox picture?
Snow.
Did you see some leftover? Oh, in the fox picture there's snow. Is there snow today in the park?
No.
Where do you think a fox might like to travel in this area?
In the woods. In the woods.
Why was it a little bit tricky to find number 6? Why was that tricky? Well, look carefully, because the kids kept saying 5 and then they said 6. What was tricky about the 6th one?
It was behind the other.
It could be behind. Do you notice anything different? 1, 2, 3, 4. Are all those ducks the same?
7!
What's different?
You call it when it blends in.
Some are not brown.
Right, and that's
what do you call it when it blends in?
The green ones are Mr. Mallard, and the brown ones
What is
are
it called when they blend?
Camouflage!
It's like camouflage. Why do you think nature gives the mothers the camouflage? And who else might they have to protect if they're the mother?
The baby.
The babies. So would you put a brightly colored bird next to babies? Or a camouflage one?
A camouflage. Camouflage.
You all did such a fantastic job on that scavenger hike. Thank you so much. Now the next thing we're going to do is make our bird feeders.
Yay!
So if everybody stays in your seat, we're going to help pass around everything that you need. So we're going to bring out, you're going to get a placemat, peanut butter, and seed, and a popsicle stick. And we're going to have some grown-ups help you out. Sound good? And if you want, I can take your papers if you don't want them. Your papers and pencils, so you don't have to hold on to them anymore. So use your peanut butter on one side of your bird feeder.
Which side?
Smear it all over that side with your popsicle stick. Whichever side you'd like.
To the other side over here.
Yeah. Why did your finger?
Isaiah, why don't you take your gloves off, Bob? You want help?
When you think that most of your shape is covered, let us know and we'll bring the next step.
Is it the bird seed?
Yes.
I'm gonna get the bird feeder and feed the birds for winter.
Put some more peanut butter.
Return fresh compost to you. Nope, that's good.
So I just heard someone mention that they don't see anybody in their yards. But how can you figure out that someone's been in your yard?
Footprints.
Yes. Excellent. So what I'm going to give all of you, if you'd like, I printed out little charts of animal footprints that of animals that might be around here. So you're welcome to come over to the table and grab one of these. And spell what you say. You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.